I'll say hi, I'm Fleur from Staffordshire University. I've been involved with the EAPG since it started about 1.5 years ago. Found it really, really useful, mainly to get contacts at different universities, understand positioning of the work that's going on, how it sits within different departments and how there's lots of different views out there. It really does help you get away from that tunnel vision of exactly, you get into this one way of doing things. So it's been really useful to pull myself out of that a bit. I've really enjoyed getting together. I find getting in a room with lots of different people is much more useful than having sort of virtual names out there in the ether, although we do have a NING community now. The experience of EA for me has been quite bitty. We've taken a very informal approach to it. I've been supported very heavily with EA by my technical manager Sam, who will probably say something in a minute. He's really helped me think about things not as a business process, but thinking about things as services and not so much as a flow. And understanding why we're doing things and not just doing them for the sake of it. We've been very lucky that we've got a project that's focused on curriculum design and development, so it's been very much about using EA to support that project. And I can see how it can benefit lots of other projects that we've got going on. It's been really difficult to get the message across to senior management and executive about how useful it could be. So that's one of the things I would be aware of, is not to start using the terminology at that level, but sort of just get on with it and do it, and then sort of say, look how great this has been, and we've been able to do this because, rather than going in and saying, we're planning on doing this EA and we're going to use TOGAF, and that didn't seem to work too well at staffs. If we had an opportunity, well, we still have opportunities to talk to our senior management executive, and this is why I say they've really only started to pick up on it since we've been able to give little demonstrations of it. We've given a couple of papers to them as well about what our steps should be as a university, but it's be wary that if you're expecting those steps to happen really, really quickly, because it's taken us 2.5 years nearly to get the first recognition of something needs to be done. So you need to make those steps really clear to them as well, without incurring any resource cost, I think is the polite way of putting it. I think that's the biggest thing for us, is getting them to understand that these changes can be made without impacting on resources that are already in the university.
Right. The key thing to understand when you first start out with EA is to sort of embrace the uncertainty, the fact that you will not at any point really ever get a full picture of what's going on in your organisation, and the key need to sort of scope the amount of work that you do on EA, and make sure that the messages that the EA can send out are ones that are targeted at individual groups or individual stakeholders. We took a very small scale example, which was an external examiner system that we were building, and did some EA modelling, as is and to be before and after models that we could capture simply on an A4 and a piece of paper and use as in presentations to convey the extent of duplication in the processes that was going on at the time. So we had lots of spreadsheets in individual faculties that were being used and effectively just duplicating information that was already in a central database, but wasn't a database that was shareable. So in just capturing the before and after of here's loads of information that we're effectively people are storing the same information and duplicating the management of it, and then the after shot, that was a really sort of powerful way to convey that message that we need to reduce this duplication.